A very good evening to you. Welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora. I'm accompanied by my co-anchor, Kago, and thank you for choosing KBC Channel 1 as we bring to you the top stories for tonight.
I like the mixed bit of it. Good to see you, Shiksha. We have plenty of news that's been shaping up today within and across our borders, and the clock is ticking. If you are a civil servant or you occupy a public office, you have about 5 days before you call it quits. That is, if you're seeking any elective position. Those are the rules 6 months before the election. And Wavinya Ndeti, who is the CS, that's the Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure, leading the way as she hung her boots and is eyeing the Machakos governorship. Plenty of that and much more. And of course, look at the security situation in Kerio Valley, business a bit later, sports as well. And of course, the spotlight, Shiksha. I love the spotlight. It's always easy, as we always say, Easy Friday, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've got a rapper.
Yep.
Her name is Mandy, young, fresh energy, creative wordplay, absolute master when it comes to rapping. So that's going to be coming up later on. But for now, it's time for the highlights.
We are asking those who are occupying some of those areas illegally to leave, but unfortunately they only have between now and probably tonight to leave peacefully.
Firm and painful. Security operation to begin in Kerio Valley. Lessening the burden of cancer. Government to use universal health coverage to cut costs of treatment. And politics it is. State workers begin quitting.
All right, and the top news story for tonight, where the government will undertake a security operation to mop up illegal weapons in the insecurity-prone region of Kerio Valley, where more than 30 people have been killed in the past 3 months. Now,
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i said the exercise will begin on Sunday, adding that it will be firm.
Speaking after holding deliberations on the security situation in the Kerio Valley with elected leaders from the region at a Nakuru hotel, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i said counties targeted in the operation include West Pokot, Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet.
We are going to operationalize all the administrative areas in Baringo North and Baringo South that had not been operationalized, the locations, the sub-locations, so that we man all those areas of administration. There are certain areas in Elgeyo Marakwet also that need to be operationalized, and we have agreed the county commissioner will review all of them.
Called on leaders in the regions earmarked for the operation to persuade residents to surrender illegal firearms.
We'll never stop doing disarmament. We'll go back again and do some more disarmament, even as we embed more security resources within the communities. And again, the most important factor is constant work with the communities and involving the local leaders, because they understand the area, they understand the terrain, they understand the people.
More than 1,000 people have fled their homes in the region after a series of raids by armed bandits that left behind a trail of death and livestock losses.
Tutahakikisha kwamba kila mtu aendelee na maisha yake kama ya kawaida, especially wale watu wa border sahi ya West Pokot, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, wenye walikuwa na msoso jana majuzi, kila mtu arudi kwake.
CS to also make sure that they bolster the security team that is on the ground and to work closely with the citizens from the local area.
The Interior boss revealed that security deployments had been doubled up along the Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot border, adding that 5 platoons of Special General Service Unit personnel had been dispatched to Kerio Valley ahead of the operation that kicks off on Sunday the 6th.
We are asking those who are occupying some of those areas illegally to leave, but unfortunately they only have between now and probably tonight to leave peacefully. We are going to begin removing them ourselves tomorrow.
Meanwhile, tension is high in Wasu in Laikipia North Sub-County in Laikipia County, following a banditry attack which left one woman dead.
Tunaona kitendo yenye tunatendewa ni ya unyama. Si tungependa kuuliza serikali, je, si tuko na ulinzi ama hatuna? Jambo la pili, hao ni waizi wagani wanaweza tuingililia mpaka tunauawa wamama, tunaacha watoto wadogo bila mlinzi?
This Asiela Member of Parliament Florence Jematia has been released on bond of 1 million shillings plus 2 sureties of similar amount in a ruling which was delivered Friday by Cabernet Law Courts. The court also ruled that Jematia has been prohibited from going from Baringo South and shall stay at a radius of 20 kilometers from the boundaries of Baringo South, pending investigations. Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
Now, if you've always been wondering why it is so expensive to get cancer treatment in the country, well, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kago now says the government is working at bringing down the cost of cancer treatment in the country. Speaking at the Coast Regional Cancer Treatment Center, Kago said the government will lessen the financial burden of cancer patients through the Universal Health Coverage UHC. Kago was speaking in Mombasa when he led Kenyans in marking the World Cancer Day celebrations. Janae Karisa has the details.
The cancer burden in the country has continued to grow over the years, with the country recording 42,000 new cancer cases annually. Of this, 27,000 succumb to the disease. The high cost of cancer treatment in the country often leaves patients' families' resources depleted.
I personally took my mother to India, and there were queues. It was hard. She's away from home. She misses her family. She's going through pain. You are there as a son or a daughter or a close family member, and you cannot do anything about it.
Hakuna haja ya kwenda Ulaya. Madaktari wako hapa, mashini ziko hapa, na ujuzi uko hapa.
Cabinet Secretary for Health Mutahi Kagwe has reiterated the government's commitment to lessen the financial load on cancer patients by effectively equipping regional cancer centers countrywide. Through the National Health Insurance Fund, cancer patients can also access free medical care following the launch of the Regional Cancer Treatment Center at the Coast General Hospital in Mombasa.
You can come here, and with an NHIF membership, you are able to walk out of here without selling your cow, without selling your car, without impoverishing your family. This is the spirit of universal health coverage.
Please speak about it so that you create confidence to others that you can come to a public hospital such as this one, get world-class treatment, and go home.
As he led Kenyans in marking the World Cancer Day alongside Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho, Kagwe underscored the government's commitment in prioritizing access, cost and quality health care in the country in line with the universal health coverage agenda.
With the facilities that we have, with the focus that we have put in the Ministry of Health, as well as the county governments, we know that this will be a thing of the past.
Kagwe noted that 6,000 medics countrywide have already undergone oncology training and are awaiting deployment, challenging Kenyans to be vigilant in cancer screenings.
We at the Ministry of Health appreciate that we need to do more in terms of training, and that is why we have a virtual facility, the MOH virtual training facility.
As he lauded the strides made in his administration in the health sector, Joho challenged county governments to stop politicizing health matters.
Government institutions cannot be in competition. You just have to find a common ground, create that positive synergy, and you shall see results.
Even as we focus on the political front, let us never forget that our hope and prayer is that what is being done by President Uhuru Kenyatta in this agenda called health can continue and grow and improve as life goes on for Kenyans.
Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County for the Easy Friday.
All right, let me just give sort of a backstory to this story we're covering next. Now, there is a petition that had been filed at the courts. Now, this was seeking to extend stay in office of public officers. Now, in a ruling last week by the High Court, it maintained that all civil servants must resign 6 months before the election. And as I mentioned at the beginning, time is running out. 9th of February it is. And now just to let you in on what happened today, Transport Chief Administrative Secretary Wavinya Ndeti has quit her post in the Ministry of Transport to seek the Machakos gubernatorial seat. Wavinya, who once served as Kathiani Member of Parliament, has been serving as the CS in the Ministry of Transport.
Wavinya Ndeti joins the growing list of government officers who have tendered their resignation to contest political office. Wavinya, who served as a Chief Administrative Secretary for 2 years, is eyeing the Machakos gubernatorial seat. Wavinya says it is time to serve the people of Machakos County, this as she intends to transform the region's governance and economy to prosperity through the county's available resources.
I have henceforth tendered my resignation from the office of Chief Administrative Secretary from today, 4th February 2022. Even as I set off to go and respond to the voices of the people of Machakos County, I assure His Excellency, the President, of my total support and availability to partner with national government to advance further development agenda.
On Thursday, Tourism Chief Administrative Secretary Joseph Boynet tendered his resignation to vie for the Elgeyo Marakwet gubernatorial seat in the August 9th general election. Boynet served as the country's Inspector General before his appointment to the CAS position. Former Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya resigned late last month to vie for the Trans Nzoia gubernatorial seat. The resignations come days after the head of public service, Joseph Kinyua, issued a notice detailing deadline for the resignation of public servants seeking elective positions. Kinyua has directed non-exempted state officers seeking to contest in the August 9th general election to prepare handing over notes and hand over all state assets assigned to them and detailed work plan on programs they were undertaking. The Communications Authority of Kenya has also directed broadcasters seeking elective positions to follow suit and resign as per the IEBC directive.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta was today among leaders who commemorated the second anniversary of the demise of Kenya's second president, Daniel Arap Moi. One Kenya Alliance principals, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua and Cyrus Jirongo, were among other leaders who were hosted by Baringo Senator at the memorial held in Nakuru. Take a look. ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, who read President Uhuru's speech, remembered Moi for his interest in the youth and his vision for a great nation. Musheru said Moi was always mindful of the youth, even in his old age. He said the late Moi's vision will live on.
He is watching over us in heaven and praying for us.
At other times when it was tough, he would summon us as ministers, and we wasn't looking that favorable. So you all know there's some tough talking. But this day called Stephen, I want you to work, after some sumptuous lunch, I want you to work with this Gideon and with Uhuru Kenyatta, because Uhuru then was president. Those are the three words, the three names Mzee gave me. I'm quite sure all of us feel the same.
For those of us who are carrying on the works that he left, we do believe that this country will always be peaceful.
There are many things we remember him for, including his theme of unity, which is what we are following by coming together as One Kenya Alliance.
In memory of the second President of the Republic, I urge all leaders of our country to continue uniting and building Kenya by improving on the foundations that President Moi helped to establish. As we head into the general election in August of this year, let us remember Mzee Moi's mantra on the political environment, that siasa mbaya maisha mbaya. The best way to honor the struggles and the memory of the people who heroically struggled to build our nation is by improving the living conditions of our citizens.
All right, now Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati is the first governor to join the new political outfit, the Democratic Party of Action, that's DAP, as the raid into the Ford Kenya party continues. At the same time, Kandui Member of Parliament and DAP Kenya party leader Wafula Wamunyinyi has hinted at going for the Bungoma senatorial seat as he and his DAP Kenya party seek to neutralize the influence of the incumbent Moses Wetangula. Wycliffe Okech has this report.
The Democratic Action Party of Kenya on Friday continued its raid into the Ford Kenya party, with Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati becoming the first county boss to abandon the Wetangula-led Ford Kenya. Wangamati, citing what he claimed to be betrayal and lack of direction from the Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula for his defection.
Nataka kutangaza hapa mambo ya Azimio Bungoma, mambo ya DAP Bungoma, siku ya leo imeanza. Hello? Siku ya leo ni nini? Imeanza. Na mimi naenda kuwa mstari wa mbele kusukuma gurudumu la DAP hapa Bungoma na kusukuma gurudumu la Azimio hapa Bungoma.
And as the DAP Kenya party seeks to cover more ground ahead of August 9 general elections, the party leader and Kandui Member of Parliament Wafula Wamunyinyi has also hinted at taking a stab at the Bungoma senatorial seat, claiming the incumbent Moses Wetangula has let the county down.
Na mimi nimesema hivi, tutakuwa na mazungumzo. Lazima tuwe na mtu aliye na nguvu atapeleka Wetangula nyumbani.
The DAP Kenya allied leaders, who have since declared their support for the Azimio la Umoja candidate Raila Odinga in the forthcoming elections, said only ODM boss has a capacity, will and desire to strengthen devolution.
Sisi wote tumekubaliana ya kwamba tusahau mambo ya Wetangula na tusahau mambo ya Musalia, na sisi wote tuunge baba mkono, si ndio? Sasa leo watu wa Bungoma, mkiniuliza kwesule serikali iko wapi, leo nataka niwaonyeshe serikali iko hapa Kisumu kwa Raila Amolo.
The leaders saying it was only Raila who can resuscitate the sugar industry in the region.
Unaona Nzoia hapa iko intensive care unit, ukaona ile Mumias iko ICU. Ndio kwa sababu sisi kama viongozi tumeamua tufanye kazi pamoja, tuweke serikali ambayo itasaidia watu wetu, na tumeamua hiyo serikali ambayo inakuja itaongozwa na Raila Amolo.
Nataka niwaombe nyinyi pia mkuwe wajumbe wazuri, na nyinyi mkitaka baba ni lazima mkuwe na kadi ya kura. Saa hizi watu wanajiandikisha. Wewe mwambia mama kama hana hiyo kadi, mwambia ndugu yako kama hana hiyo kadi, uhakikishe hiyo kadi itachakuwa kiongozi aliyebora katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
The arrival of Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati and a host of other leaders from the region has injected more strength into the Democratic Action Party of Kenya as it seeks to gain more ground and increase its popularity in the Western Kenya region and beyond. Wycliffe Okech for this Friday from the poster ground in Bungoma County.
And still on politics, Deputy President William Ruto has defended his political pact with Amani National Congress party leaders Musalia Mudavadi and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula, saying it will help uplift the lives of Kenyans. The Kenya Kwanza movement leaders, who are in Taita Taveta County, said they will protect gains made in the constitution to better the lives of Kenyans.
As led by Deputy President William Ruto, began their coastal tour in Taita Taveta County. Here, they took issue with the Election Amendment Bill 2022, claiming it was out to take back the country to the dark days.
Si uchaguzi ni ya wazi jameni. Si kura ya kila mtu ihesabike mjana na itangazwe peupe. Kama ni kwa redio, kama ni kwa runinga itangazwe. Hawa watu tunataka tuwaambie hawawezi kuturudisha nyuma. Wakenya wamechanuka, wamekataa kupangwa, na tumekubaliana ya kwamba safari hii hatufanyi nini? Ate hatufanyi nini?
We want to ask the AG, Kerio Kihara, as much as you're in the schemes of the deep state and cartels in government, respect the will of Kenyans to enact legislation in a bipartisan manner, as we have done in the years before.
Sisi tunauliza ni kwa nini mnataka kubadilisha sheria ya uchaguzi ili muharibu uchaguzi, na mnajua kiini cha fujo ni kuharibu uchaguzi. Msituhadae. Tumekataa.
ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula said their move to join Ruto was informed by principle and ideology.
Tunataka tutoe kauli, tuamue na tumalize. Ili tarehe 10 mwezi wa August Kenya ianze kupata serikali mpya ya Kenya Kwanza. Ndio kwa sababu tutakuja pamoja.
Timu yetu ambayo inajua shida ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Hatuwezi kukubali kuwa na viongozi ambao ukimwambia ulilala njaa anakuuliza kwa nini ulikataa kula. Hajui chakula haiko. Lazima mtafute viongozi ambao ukimwambia umelemewa anajua kulemewa kwako kwa sababu amepitia kwa hiyo mambo maisha yake. And that is what we are.
The leaders took a swipe at the ODM leader Raila Odinga's candidature, terming it a state project.
Huu mradi wa serikali ambao unaitwa Azimio. Azimio ni mradi wa wale wanataka tuzidi kukaa kwa njia ya ufukara. Ni project. Tunasema tusipeane nafasi ili tulazimishwe kuunga kiongozi fulani.
Wakenya wanakataa miradi ya serikali kisiasa. Wakenya wanakataa vibaraka. Wakenya wanataka viongozi ambao wanaweza kushirikiana na wao kutoka chini kwenda juu.
Sisi hatutauziwa uoga, na hata wakitupa bure hatutanunua. Kwa hivyo wakae wakijua, wao wakisema wamejipanga, sisi tumejipanga zaidi. Wao wakisema wanaweza, sisi tunaweza zaidi.
Ruto promising that his administration in his first 100 days in office will invest 100 billion shillings job creation.
Ndio tunasema mwaka huu, wewe ambaye hujulikani na bank, wewe ambaye hujulikani una security, mwaka huu utajulikana na serikali ya Kenya, na tutaweka pesa bilioni 50 kwa biashara ya hawa watu wa chini, ndio kila mmoja wetu aweze kuzalisha na kukuza biashara yake.
Earlier, the Kenya Kwanza movement addressed a rally in Voi, Gongoni, Kilifi, and Mtwapa. Tomorrow the group will be headed to Kwale County and later return to Mombasa's Likoni and Tononoka grounds. For Easy Friday from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
Thank you for keeping us company right here on Easy Friday. It's time to take our first short commercial break. But before we get to that, I'd like to thank you once again for always keeping it KBC Channel 1. We've got Rashid Moni who says watching live from Mombasa, Jomvu. Curtis says tuned from Bondo. And Bet Gilbert who says live from Kericho.
All right, Oscar as well says tuned live, but didn't mention from where. Grace Mwende, thank you. Mr. Samin Dego, I see you. And my house manager tells me my 2 daughters are watching tonight.
Lovely, it's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
And as we said, it's Easy Friday.
Easy Friday.
Absolutely. So yes, we'll be right back. Our sign language interpreter is Susan Thuku.
Business next, and then Marakwet Express looking all good in green. That's a bit later.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya Bariki, mpiga simu bonyeza *811 *963#.
Baraka zinapowaendea watu, Mungu ninakuomba umbariki huyu ambaye anapiga simu, umbariki na hata umuinue umufungulie njia yake, aende ainuliwe na kuwe mtu ambaye ni wa kuinuliwa. Ninapoenda kuipokea, Mungu fika mbele yake.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya bariki, mpiga simu bonyeza star 811 star 963 hash star 811 star 963 hash.
Beacon Furnitures Limited. We're local manufacturers of quality office furniture, dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. Our automated state-of-the-art factories at Henna House along Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. Our showroom is at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. We are passionate believers in locally manufactured goods. When you and I buy locally made furniture, we impact on the livelihoods of our brothers and sisters. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. Beacon Furnitures Limited. Jenga Kenya, tupate ajira.
This week, the spotlight is on Mandy Kabaya. Mandy broke into the Kenyan music scene in 2016 as a rapper. Her unique wordplay and fierce attitude has given Mandy a bold persona, making her a rising star. Catch Mandy this Friday on Easy Friday with Shiksha Arora, only on KBC Channel 1.
Raundi wambie misi cheki Dago seti Zoza hadi ndani westi Gucci Fendi.
Good evening and thank you for keeping it easy Friday. My name is Betty Kiptum. Let's get into the business news. Now, the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority has warned that it is illegal to operate an unregistered drone in the country. The authority, which is anticipating an increase in aviation activities, especially drones, helicopters and light aircraft operations during the electioneering period, is calling for registration of all aircrafts to allow safe monitoring of the air transport corridors.
Use of unmanned aircraft systems, popularly known as drones, is gaining traction in the country amid safety and security concerns.
You don't need to apply for an import permit. However, I do know that many of you have not registered your drones.
Kenya Civil Aviation Authority Director General Captain Gilbert Kibe has warned drone users and operators of contravening the law by flying unregistered drones. The authority notes that drones are increasingly becoming part of business in provision of other services, including healthcare, emergency services, creative economy, film industry, sports and news gathering.
Especially for data collection, research, for environmental conservation around this lake basin and other natural resources such as forests, surveying and mapping, as well as academic research.
Captain Kibe says Kenya Civil Aviation Authority is keen on orderly use of drones. Those operating drones within the Kenyan airspace are required to register them with the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. He says the airport multi-agency team comprising of the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, Kenya Airports Authority and the Kenya Wildlife Service are working to mitigate birds and other wildlife menace. Data shows that between 3 and 6 bird strikes are reported monthly at the Kisumu International Airport. Kisumu International Airport is ranked third in bird strikes after Jomo Kenyatta International Airport that has 22 bird strikes monthly and Wajir Airport at 12 bird strikes per month. Regina Manyara reporting for Easy Friday.
And farmers in the arid and semi-arid regions should consider cultivation of teff to sustain their livelihoods. The Kenya Agriculture, Livestock and Research Organization says teff, which is a short-term crop, can be consumed by humans and livestock.
Teff is predominantly grown in Ethiopia, where it is used to make fermented bread, popularly known as injera. Farmers in northern Kenya cultivate teff, but in smaller quantities, with most harvesting 0.3 tons per hectare, against a potential of 4 tons per hectare.
Teff is a very potential crop, very drought tolerant, early maturing, and highly nutritive.
The Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, is seeking to upscale teff cultivation in parts of northern Kenya by releasing 36 new teff varieties by the end of this year. Currently, the research center has developed 10 varieties of teff that include high-yielding dwarf varieties, which are less labor-intensive during harvesting.
The teff has a high potential, whereby even some varieties can give 4 tons per hectare, some improved varieties.
Seed development is part of KALRO's plan to strengthen the teff value chain in the country.
Being able to come out with more than 20 value-added food products from teff. Started with porridge, cakes, we have ugali even. They never used to think that they can get ugali from teff, but we have gotten ugali from teff.
Pastoralists have been advised to cultivate teff as fodder since it is a short-term crop and regenerates faster, hence providing all year-round pasture for livestock. Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Well, it's Easy Friday and we are keeping it easy on the business. That is where we end it tonight. My name is Betty Kiptum. Have yourself a lovely night. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, the winners of this year's Magical Golf Kenya Open will share a prize money of 226 million Kenya shillings. This was confirmed during the official launch of the championship by Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed. The championship will be held at Muthaiga Golf Club starting on 3rd to 6th of March.
A total 156 golfers, 150 pros and 6 amateurs will feature in this year's Magical Kenya Open. Kenya will be represented by 8 pros and 6 amateurs in the 4-day event. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohammed inspected the golf course in conjunction with the Kenya Golf Union.
I would like to congratulate the management and the team at Muthaiga Golf Club for this deserved feat that has put them on the world map as a host venue for this prestigious event. First held in 1967, the Kenya Open Golf Championship has continuously upheld its reputation as the stage for budding champions.
The prize money will now be $2 million US.
And as you are aware now, the event has been changed from the European tour to the DP World Tour. So the DP World Tour is the one who has said end of the events, the minimum prize money is $2 million.
The winners of this year's edition will share a whopping 226 million shillings. The organizing committee received financial boost from the sports ministry after receiving a 250 million shillings check. The previous edition of the championship was won by South African Justin Hardin. Frederick Moki for Easy Friday.
Thank you, Muki, for that report. Moving on, Naivasha-based Matthew Samperu braved steep opposition to win the 10,000-meter men's final on day one of the first AK track and field weekend meeting held at the Nyayo National Stadium. Meanwhile, the two-day meet saw a record 17 hits in the men's 100 meters.
The men's 10,000 meters final saw 54 athletes line up in 3 heats, all eyeing the title. The first heat was a battle between Naivasha-based Matthew Samperu, Isaac Kipkemboi, and Yahuru-based Pius Karanja. The trio took charge of the race from the onset, exchanging the lead on several occasions. Samperu outsprinted Kipkemboi to cross the line in 29 minutes 04 seconds. Kipkemboi came in second, while Karanja completed the podium dash.
Mazoezi yangu ni kuingia Commonwealth. Nimekimbia meeting Kenya. Nimekimbia Nakuru nikakuwa number 5. Nimekimbia pia cross country nikakuwa number 4. Nimeshukuru Mungu.
Shindano kwangu nimekuwa na competitive. Ngaji nilikuwa na ujofu, nilikuwa cross country juice discovery. Nikasema wacha nikuja nijaribu. Gai nione mwili penye iko. Nashukuru Mungu.
Max Miller Imali, Eunice Kadogo and Doreen Waka were unstoppable in the women's 100 meters hits. The second AK track and field weekend meeting is slated for 19th January in Kisumu.
The national men's softball team held the last training session at the Multimedia University grounds ahead of the Africa Softball World Cup qualifiers, slated for 13th to the 11th of this month in Pretoria, South Africa. The team, which consists of 15 senior players and 15 junior players under the age of 23, will leave the country this Sunday.
The two players will be making their debut in the Africa Softball World Cup qualifiers, as the senior national men's team will be making their maiden appearance in the championship. Under the tutelage of Lewis Teke, the team held its last training session and is optimistic of producing a dazzling performance.
It's going to be tough because the two teams, actually South Africa and Botswana, have been there for some time. They have gone for this World Cup qualifier several times. That is representing Africa. Makiu, they only want one team out of this tournament. So South Africa have been going because they're actually good. Their ladies are also good.
Tumeshinda tukitrain for long, tumecheza hii game for long, like nimecheza for almost 7 years or 6 years, 6 years. Tumecheza for long sana. Tumekuwa tukitrain na hii team, tukihope to one day we love this opportunity. Na tunashukuru government wametupea hii opportunity, and we are expecting and we are hoping to deliver our best.
Other nations that will feature in the qualifiers include, among others, hosts South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe and Lesotho. The team that will emerge victorious will clinch the sole ticket to represent Africa in the Softball World Cup, which will be held in Auckland, New Zealand from 26th November to 4th December this year.
The national team is hopeful of producing a stellar performance during the qualifiers that we held in South Africa, and is set to travel this Sunday, having had enough time to prepare for the African qualifiers to the World Cup. Reporting for Easy Friday from Multimedia University in Rongai, Kajiado County, my name is Frederick Mwoki.
Thank you very much, Moki, and we definitely do wish Team Kenya to the Africa Softball World Cup all the best. Now, finally, Alex Berenguer scored a superb 89th minute winning goal as Atletico Bilbao beat Real Madrid 1-0 and knocked them out of the Spanish Copa del Rey to reach the semi-finals. With time running out, substitute Berenguer cut inside and gave an explicit finish into the far corner to stand Carlo Ancelotti's men. Bilbao will be hoping to reach the final of the Spanish Copa del Rey for the third consecutive season. Defeat for Real Madrid ends hopes for double trophy as they top La Liga 4 points above Sevilla. Valencia, Real Betis and Rayo Vallecano joined Bilbao in the Cup semi-finals. And that's all we had for you tonight. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. My name is Karen Kibet. I'll see you next week. But I hand you back to John Kago.
All right, then, that puts a cap on the first beat of Easy Friday. It's time for me to loosen up, literally. Shiksha, Arora is on the other side of the studio. Easy Friday, lots of dancing and rapping happening tonight. You don't want to miss that, all right? On behalf of the team, many thanks for watching. So long, you missed the link. Now it's up to you. Good night.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Is this enough? Tom Lawler, bloody, but unbound. Tonight, I'm gonna win this battle, Ryan, and I'm gonna prove that I am the ultimate fighter in MLW. With authority. Look at this, Tanaka tying up Michael Patrick. He quits.
This kind dance, you the dance, I'm doing the singing, you doing the dance. Why you wanna do me something? She open up so why you do me something? Why you do me something? She open up so why you do me something? Oh collect, oh wale, oh one it, back body too correct. Oh no, Eddie man don't forget. Oh collect, oh wale, oh one it, back body too correct. Say she love me, they all love it. Sensima, why they for her? Benzema. Why you want it all? I'm Sensima. This kind dance, you the dance. I'm doing the singing, you doing the dancing. Benzema. Why they for her? Benzema. Why you want it all? I'm Sensima. This kind dance, you the dance. I'm doing the singing, you doing the dancing.
Benzema. Baby, shaman, I'm like a joke. Down, the back when all I want me can know. And you go to body, oh yeah, to body, from daddy, yo. Oh baby, to body, oh yeah, to body, from daddy, yo. Any matter, Shama, any matter, Poko, Shama, one little matter, Poko, Sasha, one little matter, Loni matter, Shama, any matter, Poko, Daddy, my money, any matter, Poko, yeah, I go me really matter.
Body too correct. Oh no, Eddie man don't forget. Only go oh collect, oh wale, oh wallet. Makam, body too correct. Say she love me, they all love it. Sensima, why they for her? Benzema, why you want it all? I'm Sensima. This kind dance, you the dance. I'm doing the singing, you doing the dancing. Benzema, why they for her? Benzema, why you want it all? I'm Sensima. This kind dance, you the dance. I'm doing the singing, you doing the dancing. Why you wanna do me something? She open up so you. Why you they do me something? Why you they do me something? She open up so you. Why you they do me something? Oh wale, pakam. Say she love me, they all love me.
This is another Tolio for my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for a bullet. But this big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just they wonder say which can party everything yamba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys then they like to throw away. Almost go babe. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy guests like make this stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. All the way to Niger Delta, now we get plenty ololo. Girl them now go logo. I just want sharply take one photo before the baba them tell us to go. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys then they like to throw away. Almost go babe. We just having fun. We won't carry on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah.
jaba na siezi pati bila blunt ama bila jaba yonite Alibaba Mindio baba yao na tuwezi adibishana has dai madharau
Java, tuna my vibes tumejaza kibaki baba.
Na nishakusoma wewe unatungora oya ushachoka naja bado sijaanza ngoja kwanza nipige makali na shada hapa uwezi mblame nataka unafanya kazi na kada
That was one performance, energy, vibes. I think everything that you need on a Friday night.
Everything.
Hivi na hivo.
Hivi na hivo.
Absolutely. So before, we get candid, let's just sit down so that we can start getting into, take a breather, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and then we get into it, right? The hot questions are coming soon. The ones that you don't want.
I hope they're not too hot.
They're not too hot. Don't worry.
Not too much.
I'll be easy on you. It's easy Friday.
Easy Friday.
Absolutely. Right. So, Mandy, the one thing that I really liked about your music videos and, of course, this personality that you have, you're very bold, you're very out there. And I feel not many artists in Kenya have that courage to be extremely bold and extremely honest with who they are as a character, as a personality, and of course as an artist. So was this always your intention that hit them with fire?
I think it wasn't always my intention, but I think it just comes naturally. Okay. Because that's literally my personality.
That's who you are.
That's who I am. And I feel like maybe people receive it in that way because it's not something I used to.
Yes.
So for them it feels very new, very fresh, and I think it's an advantage to me because it's like a selling point. So.
Absolutely. It's something that you can just be like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. This is me.
It's entirely up to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take it how you want.
Yeah.
And of course, I like the fact that you became this household name during the pandemic. That's where, you saw your career just take off.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that to happen? Especially because when we were in the middle of a very scary pandemic.
Very scary. I think from the song that hit off was like at the peak of the pandemic.
Yes.
And I was a bit skeptical, but then I think it worked in my favor because most people were at home. They were able to absorb
and enjoy the music.
Yeah, enjoy the music. Like, just look for things that will distract them more or less. So I think it worked in my favor, and I love the fact that people love my music because now they're able to sit down and absorb who I am entirely as an artist, as a creative, and I like it. I like that I peaked at the height of the pandemic.
Absolutely. And you are unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Were you always the kid back in high school or even in primary who was dropping those bars and you'd have a crowd around you, everyone's like, hey, cheering you up? Was that you?
No, I'm very, very shy.
Really?
I am. Like in real life, I'm very shy. I'm one of those people you would pass and you wouldn't notice. But in high school, I was I was in charge of the entertainment, like what would play, what music would play. Like I've always had a passion for making people happy, especially if it was inclined with music and just anything that's entertaining.
Yes.
So I felt like this was a calling for me, more or less. But in real life, I'm very quiet.
So you're an introvert?
Somehow.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really, really shy. I'm not extremely shy, but I'm really shy.
That's something that I'm sure people did not know. So if you're a Mandy fan, now you do.
Now you know.
Girls not as fiery as we think. But I think that's one thing that, it's good because you have two personalities and you know how to strike the balance between the two. When you're performing, you're this bold persona.
It's like a persona.
Yes, you're fireball.
Yes. That's the kabaya persona. That's why I had to introduce the kabaya element into my artistry.
And then when you're at home or with your family, you're this girl next door.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting right now, which is great.
Yeah, I guess so.
So which Mandy does your family get? Girl next door?
Yeah.
All the time?
That's the one they get. I feel like they get very surprised when they see like this other persona. They're like, who's this?
Yeah.
But I try as much as I can because I feel like the balance also gives me a sense of sanity.
Yes.
Which is very important.
Yes. It is to keep you going and of course to keep you focused on what's important and what's not important.
Exactly.
You need that.
Yeah.
You need to strike that balance. Now let's talk about your family. Let's talk about how you broke it to them that I want to be a rapper. There's one thing to be a singer, okay, and then breaking it to your parents as if it's not hard enough, and then telling your parents and mom, dad, family, I want to be a rapper. How did they take that news?
I think for me, my most important person to tell was my mom, because my mom's a single parent.
Okay.
So I was a bit skeptical about how she will take the information, because initially I started out as a DJ immediately after high school.
No ways.
Yeah, she facilitated the whole thing.
That's amazing.
Paid for my academy, supported me through all the shows. So when I went to her and told her, you know, I want to venture into this other thing that is being a musician, being a creative, and she was very supportive from day one. She has been my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, which is insane, considering the things I say, the things I do, the videos I do. But I didn't expect it to be that way. However, I feel like this far I have come, it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have like the full support of my family.
That's amazing.
And of course, if your mom is okay with it, the rest of the extended
Nobody
family,
matters.
they'll just have to go with what she goes with. So I think I'm really blessed by that fact.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. And let's talk about being, you know, a Gengetone rapper, just a rapper per se. How hard was it to stay relevant and of course to break through? Because I know once you become this household name, I think it's easy going from there. It's smooth and it flows. But just to be able to get that one, you know, viral music video or a song that everyone's singing to, how did that happen for you?
I think for a while, because I think since 2016 I had been doing like this hardcore rap and boom bap and just trying to prove a point. And around beginning of 2020, when Gengetone had now started catching the wave, I was still doing the rap thing, but at that time, it was the men who were expressing themselves through Gengetone. So for me, it was like, as a female artist, how do I now incorporate that artistry that is Gengetone? And the trend. And so it took me some time, but eventually when I caught it, I did Pon It, which was a feature with X-Ray, BDLW, and Diana Chords. And for me, I would say it was like a breakthrough. And it was like at the height of the pandemic, because I remember shooting the video during the 7 p.m. curfew.
Oh dear.
And it was just hectic. It was a whole headache. But the reception I got off of it was that that's something maybe people want to see from me, see more of, hear more of. And it was a bit difficult because we all know the topics Gengetone speaks of, and having to incorporate that as a female artist was a bit hard for me. But
it was a challenge.
Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. But once I got it, and just like literally owning who I am as a person, as a woman, as a young female in maneuvering through Nairobi.
The streets of Nairobi.
The streets of Nairobi, it became a bit easier for me.
Okay.
So I feel like if I hadn't like outgrown the rap element of me, like as an artist, like as a rapper, if I hadn't outgrown that into now a Gengetone artist, I don't think I would be sitting here right now.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that you were able to transition into, you know, this Gengetone artist, but still really make sure that you're keeping your roots intact, which is rap. And will we see you evolve into something else, and of course, you know, venture into another genre of music?
Of course,
in the future.
I am like, for example, my album. I released my album in November, and the album is of course the popular music that the Kenyans listen to, but there's elements of R&B. Like there's a song called Magizani. I've sampled an old R&B track.
Nice.
There's different genres. There's a boom bap rap, there's the dance hall. There's so many elements of it. So it's not like I'm just this generic artist. There's so much more you can get off of me. And it's not just rap. there's also a lot of singing on the album. So yeah.
And you know what, when I did my research, most of the blogs say that you are a very versatile artist.
Yes.
So I think that's something that, you know, you've kept hold of, and it's nice to know that you're trying to like do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what's going to work for you, which is amazing because you figured it out so early. And I guess you need to give people tips on how to figure out what they want to do.
I mean,
as a young female creative who's just, as you said, maneuvering her way through the streets of Nairobi, how exactly did you know that this is what I want to do?
It took some time because for most people, they think that I started doing music last year, 2021, 2020. But in hindsight, I've been doing this since 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it takes time. And as an artist, it takes time to find your sound, find your style, which is something very rare. But I'm glad that I had like that 4-year window where it was just me figuring myself out. Experimenting. Today I do reggae, tomorrow I do R&B, the other day I'm an alt artist. So I'm glad that I had that chance.
Amazing.
To experience all these different versions of myself and finally arrive at, this is who I am, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
So for me, I think I will just tell any creative that's out there, just give yourself time. The person you are yesterday isn't the person you're going to be tomorrow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sound advice.
Yeah.
That's what you call kabaya advice.
Kabaya advice. Watermark that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Mandy, you know, you really, I think, collaborated with some of the heavyweights in the industry, the likes of Fena, you know, Brida LW. Like, these are people that we have grown up listening to. And of course, I really feel that you got a chance, an opportunity to do so very early on in your career. And what have you learned from someone like Fena? Who's like, you can say, the OG female rapper of Kenya?
I think the first session I had with Fena felt like, you know, when you feel like you literally know nothing, and then there's this person who
go back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
you're like,
okay. Like, I remember after that session, I went back home. I was like, what? What am I doing?
Who am I? Where am I?
What, literally, do I know anything? But the one thing I learned is just be comfortable with what you're doing. Don't try and force the vibe.
Yes.
Just go where it takes you. Because I remember even the session with Fena was literally the most wholesome session I've had.
Fulfilling.
She's just a force to reckon with, and I learned so much from her. Even as I was recording like the rest of my album, there's elements of what I learned through that session that I borrowed for my other songs. And I just love the fact that for every artist I've worked with, they're very comfortable with who they are. They don't force, they don't copy, they don't, wherever it takes them, that's where they go. And I feel like for very many young artists, they try to emulate what they see or what this other person is doing. But for me, what I learned was just go where the vibe takes you. That's the biggest lesson I've learned.
You know, sitting here with you, I feel like you have just broken a stereotype, because there's a misconception that rappers are supposed to behave and talk a certain way, you know, have that swag and, you know, movement with your hands and like literally, but you're so well spoken, you're so ladylike, you're so graceful, elegant. I'm just like, wow, is she really a rapper, or is it all a facade?
Oh my God.
She is, yeah?
I am.
Okay.
This is literally, what do they call it? Decorum. This is me. I obviously
so well put together.
I can't come on here and like, yo, what's good? What's happening?
That's what I'm saying. That's a stereotype.
No.
People have that perception of what rappers are in terms of what they look like, in terms of how they talk, in terms of how they carry themselves. And I feel like you're the complete opposite. It's amazing.
It's different. I feel like people also need to hear you speak and understand you like outside the music. They need to understand how you think, how you move, how you feel. And I can't do that, like throwing hands
all the time.
Like, it's so awkward.
Of course.
But I mean, okay, yeah.
Okay. Love it, love it. Okay, let's talk about, the future for you. We already know that you've come up with a brand new single that was released a few days ago, Forbidden Truth. How has been received? What have people said? What are some of the feedback you've got about this track? I know you did something new with it.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that later.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I feel like I already know.
You already know what's going to come, right? You know the next question. But yes, before we get to that,
I know, but
let's talk about how people have received the song, and what is the feedback so far? Do people like it?
Of course they do. I feel like most people knew me off of the songs I make about quote unquote sherehe.
Yes.
But this was more or less a different.
Yeah, it was deeper.
Yeah, it was deeper.
Yeah.
Because I think most people don't understand the fact that as I was beginning my career, I was a rapper.
Okay.
And rap has so many elements to it.
Yes.
There's the skill, there's the storytelling, which is this song. And when I was doing this particular song, I wasn't in the mood of writing a sherehe song.
Yeah.
I just wanted to connect, because I feel as an artist, there's so many things in life you can speak on.
Relationships, for instance.
Exactly. Nairobi.
Yep.
Dating in Nairobi. But I wanted to break away from the generic, let's go out, let's drink, let's enjoy life.
Let's enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, because I feel like life is not just about...
all about enjoyment.
Enjoyment. There's actual things that happen out here that most people can relate to. And that's one of the things I want to do. I just want to connect with my audience, and it doesn't have to always be about this one particular topic. It can be about very many various aspects of it. So yeah, that's how I did Forbidden Fruit.
Do you know, in the West, like for instance, Taylor Swift, whenever she has a breakup, she writes about it. And then she makes sure that she really talks about her ex. And she describes the ex, right? A to Z. Have you ever done that? It's okay. If you have, it's fine. You can tell us.
Oh my God, I haven't.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've been in a relationship where I can write about.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm very much invested in such relationships right now. Maybe later, but not now.
Are you dating Nick Ndeda?
Wow, just right on. No
I just
lube
had
or
to.
anything.
I had to. There was news that you are, but we don't know. Maybe if you confirm it, we'll know.
I can't
confirm or deny.
Confirm, no deny.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Moving
I'll
on.
give a very political answer. We're both creatives. We're friends. We love almost everything, almost the same things.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Just friends. That's the situation. That's fine. Taken. That's okay. Let's move on.
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly. Mandy, I feel like the one thing that every artist in Kenya is always complaining about is the fact that putting together a budget, coming up with financing for your music videos, for instance, for promotion, for marketing, for rebranding sometimes, and you're just putting yourself out there in public eye. It is very, very taxing. And of course, just making sure and ensuring that you are able to continue doing what you love doing, which is, of course, rapping, it's difficult. And there's always roadblocks along the way. What are some of the roadblocks that you've had to encounter, and how have you overcome them?
I think, as you said, financing most of your projects is usually very tasking. But for me, I've always been a very resourceful person.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I had to learn to do it from a very young age when you didn't have much to work with, and you had to
make do with what you have.
Yes, exactly. So for me, even I think two years ago, before now I got my management, I had to do most of the things on my own.
Wow.
I had to figure out how to record, how to do the video, how to have extras, how's everyone getting there. And I was in uni, and you know how when you're in uni, for some reason you're just broke.
You're a hustler.
You're a hustler. You're just surviving. But I think for a creative, if you're starting and you don't have very many options, especially if it's financially, you just have to work with what you have.
Yeah.
And you have to like invest in relationships because
networking.
Yeah, just network because the videographer I use right now is very talented, cue visuals, but he's been with me when I literally had only 5K to
No
give him.
way, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
So you've grown together.
Same guy. So you have
amazing.
to learn to invest in relationships as much as you can.
Okay.
Because in this world, you can't just have like 100K dropping on your lap.
Of course not.
And you have a video, you have an audio, you have promo. It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So you have to be as resourceful as you can in the beginning stages of it before you can make money to reinvest in your craft.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who are some of your inspirations from the West, you know, in Kenya as well? Some people that you'd love to collaborate with, some artists. Maybe you can drop a few names.
I think one of my biggest inspirations, and as cliche as this is going to sound, is Spice.
Okay.
She's a Jamaican rapper, singer, songwriter, performing artist. She's just a fireball.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So she's one of my biggest inspirations.
Okay.
Because even looking back at her videos starting up, she was very musty and crusty and everything that I thought I was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So she's my biggest inspiration. I
Okay.
think locally I'd say Calligraph.
Oh yes, the
I'd
OG.
say Otile Brown.
Yeah.
These are people who have stuck to the grind till now, and I would love to also grow as an artist as much as they have. So yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned Calligraph because, like, let's be honest, without Calligraph, there's no rap in Kenya.
There's none.
There's none. Zero.
None. None.
Yeah, good. Mandy, I really wanted to ask you this question. You know, you have said that you've had a very interesting career. You've had a very interesting journey. Started off as a DJ, and then of course went into rap, and then now, you know, you're just getting into like this scene where you figured yourself out, and you still think that there's a lot of things you still want to try out. Any regrets along the way in your journey?
Of course. I regret second guessing myself.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere someone was talking about an imposter syndrome or something like that, and just doubting myself and my craft and the possibility of just being as big as I am right now. It might not be much to other people, but to me, if you walked up to me 5 years ago and you told me you're going to have like 50,000 subscribers, I'll be like, no, you're lying.
You're lying. How?
Where? Who are these people? So I wouldn't doubt myself as much as I did.
That's very solid advice.
Yeah.
I feel like imposter syndrome is something that a lot of young people deal with today.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's the worst because you sit down and you see someone else doing something.
You just
and
compare
maybe,
yourself to them.
Yeah, and you don't realize how good you are because you're always thinking, maybe I could do too loud, maybe I could do better, maybe my hair doesn't look as good as this other person, or my makeup or how I perform isn't as good as this person. But in actual sense, people love you because you're you. And you don't see it.
Kabaya advice.
We need to make it a hashtag.
Trademark. Done. Let's do it. Thank you so much, Mandy. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I mean, I cannot let you go without, you know, you performing your latest single, of course, The Forbidden Truth. We need you to just go, just do your thing, and like just show everyone what you're made of, right?
Exactly.
The Kabaya Mandy that we're used to seeing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Any last words for your fans?
I would just like to say that you should just keep on supporting me. This year is going to be amazing. Follow me on all my social media platforms. On Instagram, it's Mandygram, that's MAANDY. YouTube, Mandy, that's MAANDY. I've just released a new video, so make sure you get on there, support your girl, show me some love, and yeah. Let's get interactive.
Let's get interactive. And thank you so much for, you know, keeping us company right here on #Easy Friday. We'll do this again next week. Same time, same place, only on KBC Channel 1. My name is Shiksha Arora. For now, it's time to make way for Mandy. Koljax, you ready? Let's go.
I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi. Situation got too sticky. Lakini nidu nini? dunini I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi situation got too sticky lakini ni dunini unge dunini
wahenga walidai forbidden fruit ndio the sweetest mimi nimepata weakness ukweli niko na secret before uni judge wesikia hii story mimi na confess no jeriba ni ngori niko na boy yani mflyer kona ganji na walai best pipe no lie jaman baridi ndio ndae mali anakagua ka ukwaju kwa karai shida ni moja na ndio kubwa my guy ni chalia besti wangu shiko tumejua na since campo natoka then tumegrow rosafi kilemewa I know where to go kukesha usiku tukisomea teo na siezelewa vile ilianza siezi explain situation ilijiingiza siezi kuambia ni wapi niliteleza feel so good when we're together si unaelewa
I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi situation got too sticky lakini ni dunini unge dunini I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi situation got too sticky lakini ni dunini unge dunini
who you boy vile yo we handle hit the right spot you know that got an angle na ma Friday ndio see you get time ample aki pull up tunatulistu kwa castle then I get a call from my girl nikashikwa tuna stress si bonga on a daily so I guess anani holla too take it mimi nika accept okay kwanza nilitake a very deep breath
niaje baby girl
sema babe
akimenyamaza
hapana kuna job imenikaza niambie
mimi niko na stress
gani tena
ni deno naona ana cheat sina ma receipt lakini weekend yako off kwanza Friday ana lost alafu sitampata mpaka sato
maybe anataka tu space usi overthink you have a good thing
sawa basi hata niko area yako I'm coming over Tanzania wanna be alone let alone sober
ati unakam
yep coming up the stairs nataka tu kurant can't take it any longer
I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi
situation got too sticky lakini ni dunini unge dunini I swear sikupanga ikuwe hivi situation got too sticky lakini ni dunini unge dunini
keep off you pass leo kuonekana is a must we came from the dot let a bill in a cash drinks on me just a glass bromance relax keep off you pass leo kuonekana is a must we came from the dot let a bill in a cash drinks on me just a glass bromance relax imagine kuna time mzinga tulishindwa kubai na
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa